Hello, this is Lynette, and I'm reading the Love Exquisite Magazine for February 2025. Happy Black History Month, as well as Happy Love Month. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Make sure y'all spread love this month and beyond. Make sure you honor Black History Month as well. So I am reading in the section titled for the love of relationships. And the article is titled Submission. It's a good one. Submission, because sometimes we get that word so twisted up based on our own needs and what we need from a person that we're with in relationships. So I'm going to break it down a little bit from my perspective. That's all. So please listen because this is important. This is an important one. Submission. The biggest myth behind the word submission, the biggest myth behind the word submission in regards to relationships is that submission is about having power, control, ruling over, or having dominion or domination over your mate usually based on gender roles, so generally male. Most people have a misconception about what submission is. It's not about telling a person what to do or what to say or what to wear, or where to go, how to act, and all. It's not about any of those things. It's not about degrading your mate to inflate your own ego. It's not about having your way, nor about power tripping. Who's in control? It's not about power and control. Submission is a mutual accommodation for each other's needs, similar to a compromise. Submission is about leading effectively with the knowledge of knowing that those who lead also know when to follow. When you follow, it doesn't mean that you lack power or control. It means that you know when to relinquish some power and control based on your own proficiencies within the relationship. For example, if your mate is better at managing money than you are, relinquishing some control over who handles money matters in the relationship. It's not about power and control. It's about a wise decision. It's about making a wise decision. So in my opinion, submission is more about having a mutual respect and high regard for one another. It's more about that than it is about power and control. I think that when we take power and control out of our mindset of how we think about what submission is, then we are more open minded to the concept of being submissive and what it is to be submissive. So when you also take out the gender biases of a male's role is and what a female's role is in a relationship, we could view submission in a different way. Again, submission is not about what a man can do for a woman or what a woman can do for a man. Specifically, it is about what both the male and the female should do for one another. In relationships, most people tend to miss that part. The Bible states in Ephesians 5 and 21, submit yourselves to one another out of reverence for Christ. Read it for yourself. Ephesians 5 and 21. Submit yourselves to one another. Key word in there, to one another, out of reverence for Christ. Some versions of the Bible state husbands submit to your own wife and wives submit to your own husband. This still means both parties. This means both should submit to one another out of the love for Christ, as well as out of the love and respect for one another. In relationships, because it's not just about your own individual happiness or your own individual needs, it is about our happiness collectively. So we have to be considerate of one another. We have to respect each other. We have to love each other the right way. We have to care about each other's needs as well as the needs within the relationship. So submission is not about a personal goal or a personal benefit. It's about a mutually reciprocated reverence for one another that is a beautiful thing when it is not taken out of context. So in relationships, submit to one another, each other in a healthy way based on your own strengths and weaknesses within the relationship, based on what is mutually beneficial to the relationship, not egotistically, not pridefully, not selfishly, or having a prideful control over one person or the other. We have to learn how to love each other better, love each other the right way, learn what submission really is and what it really looks like. We need to learn that submission is not about power or control. It is about mutual respect for each other. In relationships, we can not only think about ourselves and meeting our own individual and personal needs or having someone submit to us when we're not submitted to them as well. We have to think about what the relationship needs. What are the needs of the relationship, not just our own individual needs. We have to know how can we contribute to our mate's happiness in our relationship, and we have to lead with that type of mindset. We have to consider what contributes to our mate's happiness as well as our own. We should stop using the word submission out of context and for our own selfish gain, so that we can begin to demonstrate a mutual love and respect for one another in our relationship. So submission is not about you having control over the other person. It is again about a mutual respect and high regard for each other's needs. And so submit to one another. It is important. And it's a beautiful thing when it is done correctly and not a one-sided approach or a one-size-fits-all approach. It's a mutual thing that both people should do for one another. So again, you need to look it up. It's in the Bible, Ephesians 5:21. Submit to one another, meaning each other, both people, not just one, having dominion over the other. That's not what submission means.